Good morning. We begin today in Washington, where Attorney General Pam Bondi has announced a significant new investigation by the Department of Justice. The probe will focus on alleged ties between several prominent Democrats and the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. In a statement released Friday afternoon, the Attorney General confirmed that Jay Clayton, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, will lead the investigation. Bondi described Clayton as one of the most capable and trusted prosecutors in the country and promised the department would pursue the matter with urgency and integrity to deliver answers to the American people. The announcement came shortly after President Donald Trump publicly called for such an investigation. In a post on his Truth Social platform, the president urged the DOJ and the FBI to examine Epstein's relationships with former President Bill Clinton, as well as other figures like former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers and businessman Reid Hoffman. The president also named financial institutions J.P. Morgan and Chase as subjects for the inquiry. This escalation follows the release of new emails this week by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee. One email from Epstein to his associate Ghislaine Maxwell claimed that Trump, quote, spent hours at my house with a victim. Another email, written by Epstein to author Michael Wolff, alleged that Trump, quote, knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. The White House has forcefully pushed back, with Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt accusing Democrats of selectively leaking emails to the media to create a fake and misleading narrative intended to smear the president. In response, the committee's ranking member, Representative Robert Garcia of California, issued a fiery statement demanding the immediate release of all Epstein-related files held by the Department of Justice. Garcia claimed the latest emails raise glaring questions about what the White House might be hiding. Representatives for former President Clinton and the other individuals named by President Trump have not yet responded to requests for comment. The controversy over the Epstein files also appears to be at the heart of a dramatic and very public political rift between President Trump and one of his most vocal and loyal supporters, Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. In an explosive post on Truth Social late Friday night, the president announced he is officially withdrawing his endorsement of Greene, labeling her a, quote, ranting lunatic, and giving her the new nickname, Wacky Marjorie. The president accused the Congresswoman of doing nothing but complain instead of celebrating his administration's achievements. He claimed her discontent began after he shared a poll with her indicating she had little chance of winning a statewide race for senator or governor without his endorsement, which he said she was not going to get. Trump added, quote, she has told many people that she is upset that I don't return her phone calls anymore. But with 219 congressmen, women, 53 U.S. senators, 24 cabinet members, almost 200 countries, and an otherwise normal life to lead, I can't take a ranting lunatic's call every day. Representative Greene responded almost immediately on the social media platform X, formerly Twitter, stating, President Trump just attacked me and lied about me. She denied calling him and instead posted screenshots of text messages she claimed to have sent him earlier in the day. Greene alleges that the president's attack is a direct result of her push to release the Epstein files. She wrote, quote, it's astonishing really how hard he's fighting to stop the Epstein files from coming out that he actually goes to this level. In her lengthy response, Greene appeared to sever ties with her former ally, stating, I don't worship or serve Donald Trump. I worship God. Jesus is my savior, and I serve my district GA14 and the American people. The president's post concluded by vowing his complete and unyielding support to any conservative who launches a primary challenge against Greene in the 2026 midterm elections, a move that could reshape the political landscape in her deep red Georgia district. While the administration navigates that political fallout, it is also signaling a major shift in domestic policy. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins suggested yesterday that every American currently receiving benefits from the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, should have to reapply. Speaking on Newsmax, Rollins described the food stamp program as one of the, quote, most corrupt, dysfunctional programs in U.S. history. She stated that the Trump administration is planning to enact a policy that would require a full reapplication process for all beneficiaries. The goal, she explained, is to fundamentally rebuild the program from the ground up. According to the secretary, this overhaul is necessary to combat ongoing fraud and to ensure that taxpayer-funded benefits are directed only to those who are truly vulnerable and cannot survive without the assistance. The plan represents a significant potential change for the millions of Americans who rely on the federal program for food assistance. On another economic front, President Trump has provided an update on his proposal to send dividend checks to American taxpayers. Speaking to reporters aboard Air Force One yesterday, the president tempered expectations, stating that the proposed $2,000 checks would likely not be sent out before the upcoming holiday season. Instead, he speculated that if the plan moves forward, the funds would be distributed next year sometime, indicating a 1/26 timeline. This proposal, which the president has recently revived, would be paid for using revenue generated from U.S. tariffs on imported goods. The president's renewed discussion of the dividend checks comes as the Supreme Court is deliberating on a related issue. The court recently heard oral arguments in a case that questions whether the administration has the authority to unilaterally change import taxes under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. The outcome of that case could impact the financial feasibility of the dividend proposal. Finally, a separate battle involving presidential power is also heading toward the Supreme Court. More than 200 congressional Democrats have signed on to an amicus, or friend of the court, brief urging the justices to uphold limits on the president's ability to fire officials who lead independent federal agencies. The brief was submitted on Thursday as part of a case known as Trump versus Slaughter. The case centers on President Trump's removal of Rebecca Slaughter, a member of the Federal Trade Commission. After a lower court ordered her reinstatement, the administration appealed to the Supreme Court, arguing that Congress had unconstitutionally intruded on presidential authority by passing laws that limit the reasons for which such an official can be dismissed. The legal challenge is significant because it calls into question a 90-year-old Supreme Court precedent that has long shaped the structure of the federal government. A ruling in favor of the administration could dramatically expand the president's power over a wide range of agencies designed to operate with a degree of independence from the White House, potentially having lasting effects on the nation's separation of powers.